Welcome to Warhammer 40k lore in the Bible, where I take Warhammer 40k lore to help explain biblical lore. And today, we're going to be going over the ranged weapons of the Imperium. This will probably be 2 more videos because there's a lot here. I'm going to keep the same format, for the time being. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So Acts 12:6-7. And when Herod would have brought him forth, the same night Peter was sleeping between 2 soldiers, bound with 2 chains. And the keepers before the door kept the prison. And behold, the angel of the Lord came upon him, and the light shined in the prison. And he smote Peter on the side, and raised him up, saying, Arise up quickly. And his chains fell off from his hands. Is this a laser? His chains fell off, right? And a light shined in the prison. So, interesting. Or a form of a laser or something. Now, Isaiah 66:15-16. Or, for behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind. Are these ships or these chariots? Who knows? But to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. Now, is this a flamer and a sword? Just interesting stuff. Excuse the sirens in the background. But Ecclesiastes 1:9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. There is no new thing under the sun. So now what this verse is saying here is that what we have today, or even back then, or whatever, they had before. So there's nothing new under the sun here, right? So this very well be a laser, right? And, and stuff like that. So, interesting. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and get started on the Warhammer side, or Warhammer 40k side. Flamers are flamethrower type weapons that project an ignited stream of Promethean fuel over a wide area, igniting many enemies in a single gout of flame. In the various tabletop games, they are represented by using various teardrop-shaped templates that represent the extent of the weapon's effect on the battlefield, without needing a roll to hit targets completely engulfed by the template. Much like their real-life counterparts, they are usually shorter range than most of the other weapons in the game. Okay, Flamers are short-range special weapons carried by various soldiers, Imperial and otherwise, in the Warhammer 40,000 universe, to represent the ease of the use of a flamethrower. The game mechanics of this weapon differ from that of other ranged weapons. Instead of rolling dice to hit a target, firing a flamer and other similar weapons simply involves placing a teardrop-shaped template over a target area. In-game, anything touched by the template is considered to be engulfed in the flames and automatically hit with no reliance on the probability. And I probably shouldn't have read that, because that was basically this. So, anyways, okay, many units, both Imperial and non-Imperium, are capable of carrying flamers, while Space Marines and Imperial Guardsmen can be armed with them. Unlike other weapons which have analogs in their armies, flamers generally have no specialized version in the non-Imperial armies that they are found in. They are simply referred to as flamers. Both Eldar and the Tau have specific units that can be armed with flamers. Their flamers are identical in game stats and name to the Imperial version, and differ only in appearance. Orcs have a specific analog of the flamer, the burner. Gotta love the orcs. Hand flamers are smaller, one-handed version of the normal flamer. They are often used by assault troops, since the weapon's shorter range is less noticeable. In the first two editions of Warhammer 40,000, the hand flamer used a small teardrop-shaped template similar to that of the standard flamer. Since the third edition of the game, hand flamers are now simply close combat weapons. Since the 5th edition, they again use teardrop-shaped templates, but these have lower power. In addition to being close combat weapons, the Sisters of Battle, Seraphim, can be armed with twin hand flamers. Hand flamers are still relatively common to the Underhive of the Hive cities, with the Imperium, and the Blood Angels in their successor chapters. Heavy flamers are a larger, more powerful version excuse me guys, sorry, of the standard flamer, projecting hotter and denser flames. As a result, heavy flamers are stronger and having better armor-piercing capabilities than the standard flamers. During the first and second editions of Warhammer 40,000, heavy flamers used a larger, longer-range template than flamers. With the release of the third edition, heavy flamers used the same templates and thus had the same range and area of effect as the standard flamer, albeit with the aforementioned improved strength and ability to affect armored targets. Heavy flamers are often used by specialists in dense conditions, such as jungle warfare, urban warfare, and close-quarter combat. As an infantry weapon, they are not as common as flamers, and fewer units are capable of using them. One of the earliest units to have the weapons were Space Marine Terminators, which made use of them in cramped shipboarding actions in the game Space Hulk. The Sisters of Battle of the Witch Hunters faction are one of the few infantry units allowed to carry heavy flamers. Some Imperial Guard armies are capable of fielding heavy flamers in squads of infantry, such as the Katachan Jungle Fighters. Heavy flamers are also encountered on Imperial armored vehicles, such as the Sentinels. Sorry about that. And the Chimeras of the Imperial Guard. They are possible secondary weapons for some Space Marine vehicles as well, such as dreadnoughts and land speeder tornadoes. The Sisters of Battle emulator tank is also armed with heavy flamers. Orcs possess an analog to the heavy flamer, the Scorcha. Yep. Incinerator is a specialized heavy flamer variant seen primarily in use amongst the forces of the Inquisition. It is used mostly by the Grey Knights chapter. Incinerators are different from heavy flamers, and their Promethean fill is consecrated for use against demons and other similar warp entities. Infernal Cannon is a flame weapon used primarily by the Imperial Guard. It is the primary armament of the Hellbound flame tank. The Inferno Cannon shoots a long, arcing gout of flame at a range that forms a deadly pool of liquid flame affecting the area that it impacts, rather than spewing fire directly at the targets from the cannon. This firing effect can be clearly seen when on the Infernal Cannon armed with Hellhand vehicles in the game Dawn of War. The Space Marines also gained access to the Infernal Cannon, mounted on customized siege dreadnoughts, which also feature a dreadnought close combat weapon similar to the Chain Fist. With an inbuilt heavy flamer, this can be used most effectively against bunkers and transport vehicles, where a penetrating hit by the fist would expose all occupants of the target to a subsequent hit by the heavy flamer. My goodness. Laser weapons. Laser weaponry, or las weapons, are laser-based ranged weapons used by many military forces in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. Descriptions and depictions of their effects vary, from firing a single coherent ray of light as seen in the computer game Dawn of War, to capacitor-based laser blasters that possess recoil and fire individual bolts, to weapons that fire invisible beams of coherent electromagnetic energy without any apparent recoil or muzzle flash. These weapons are relatively easy to produce and maintain. They require no solid ammunition, have few moving parts, and use power cells which can be recharged or quickly swapped with another fully charged power cell. This makes them ideal for distribution among large numbers of men, such as the Imperial Guard. While the accuracy of the laser weapon is generally depicted as not being distorted by high winds like projectile weapons, it can be diffused by heavy particles in the air, such as smoke, and thus a laser can dissipate over long distances. However, some authors, such as Dan Abnett, depict laser weapons as having muzzle flash, noticeable recoil, and an accuracy that is affected by gravity as well as by wind and able to fire underwater, thus making laser weapons effectively the same as projectile weapons. Defense laser is an immense laser weapon with incredible power and range, normally used only in fixed emplacements or on very large vehicles. The Imperator class Emperor Titan mounts one on its upper carapace as an anti-aircraft cannon. The defense laser name was introduced in Rogue Trader, but in the most recent editions of Warhammer 40,000, it seems to have been replaced by the more specific Volcano or Nova cannons. Defense lasers have also appeared as a massive anti-ship emplacement, occupying the entire building of their own and capable of seriously threatening capital warships in space above a planet. A Hellgun is an upgrade las gun which fires substantially more focus beam, using series of high-quality focusing lenses and a completely revamped power feed to give it a far greater armor penetration factor compared to the typical las gun. However, the higher power consumption requires superior quality power cells or a backpack power supply to keep maintained. And the complex gun system requires more time and resources to manufacture and repair, as well as more training to get the most out of it. This makes it more costly to field, so it is not generally issued to the average Imperial Guardsman. However, stormtroopers and grenadiers are always equipped with the Hellgun as standard to take full advantage of their superior training and weapons expertise. Hellguns are often equipped with underslung grenade launchers. The Hellgun is slowly being replaced in the Imperial Guard by the more advanced hotshot las gun, whose beams are capable of piercing even power armor, which the Hellgun is not. The standard pattern of Hellgun currently used in the Imperial Guard is the Hellgun Mark II pattern, which is a gyro-stabilized and requires the backpack-mounted power source to be effective. Hell Pistol corresponds to the las pistol in the same way the Hellgun corresponds to the las gun. Yet the Hell Pistol is far deadlier while being only slightly heavier than the las pistol. However, the Hell Pistol is correspondingly more expensive in terms of materials and in manpower to manufacture, and is usually only used by Imperial Guard Grenadiers or Stormtrooper Sergeants, although higher-ranking Imperial Guard officers also have access to the weapon by virtue of their higher grade. Some Inquisitors will also use this weapon as a matter of preference. The lascannon is one of the anti-tank weapons available to Imperial forces. Its high strength and armor-piercing ability make it a formidable weapon. Lascannons are basically a significantly scaled-up implementation of the las technology also used in las rifles. Space Marines make use of lascannons as a shoulder-fired weapon and are also fielded in Imperial Guard heavy weapon squads as a tripod-mounted crew-served weapon. Lascannons are also mounted on the Land Raiders, Predators, Dreadnoughts, and many other Imperial vehicles. The lasgun is the standard issue weapon for all Imperial Guardsmen. It fires a focused laser beam, powerful enough to remove an unarmored human limb in a single blast, but not as effective against heavy armor or the durable hides of some monstrous aliens. People who play the tabletop game refer to the lasgun as flashlight due to its low strength and lack of armor penetration. Nice. I didn't know that. That's funny. Sorry. Anyways, especially when compared to the basic weapons of the other armies. However, the Imperial Guardsmen, the primary users of the lasgun, are numerous and can be fielded in very large numbers. Because of this relative lack of power, the lasgun is most effective when delivering massed focus fire from multiple units, and less effective when used singly. Lasguns are powered by small rechargeable power packs. Power output can be adjusted to extend the life of the charge. The power packs are extremely reliable and can be charged by exposing them to direct sunlight or by heating them. Putting them directly into flames works, but this reduces the lifetime of a power pack and increases the chance of misfires. The reliability and ease of resupply of the lasgun make it an ideal weapon for extended campaigns, often undertaken by the endless armies of the Imperial Guard. Yeah, that is very much true. Certain types of lasgun have specific uses, such as the long las, which is a longer barrel and greatly improved power and range. These are generally used in a sniper role and use overpowered liquid metal batteries known as hot shots, which have only one power setting. The power and the heat from the improved beam quickly wears out of the barrels, which are replaceable and good for about 20 shots each. The las carbine is a carbine from of the lasgun, designed for special operations in units, usually employed by drop troopers or scout units of the Imperial Guard. It is light and compact, allowing it to be easily stowed so it does not interfere with the carrier's mobility. It was used by the Tanith First and only, Elysian drop troops, Katachan jungle fighters, and Inquisitor Gregor Eisenhorn. A rarely seen form of the lasgun is the assault laser, wielded almost entirely by private concerns due to its high maintenance requirements. The focusing rings must be replaced every 1,000 shots or so, and this delicate process can only be done by a trained tech priest. Assault lasers are known for their immense rate of fire and higher armor-piercing ability compared to the standard las rifle. The las pistol is the pistol form of the lasgun and operates in a similar way. It is suitable for quick use but lacks firepower or range and is often used in conjunction with a close combat weapon. Many las pistols have power packs mounted in front of the pistol's grip rather than within the grip itself. so that the heat from the power cell can be quickly dissipated and the power cell quickly changed when depleted. This also allows the las pistol to use the same power pack as the las gun, increasing the pistol's logistical flexibility. While it is more likely to be hit when exposed and cause a potential debilitating explosion, the likeliness of this occurring is outweighed by the benefits. Las pistols are carried primarily by Imperial Guard officers and advisors, including commissars, tech priests, engineers, and sanctioned psychers. Some dedicated close combat units of the Imperial Guard, such as the Rough Riders and Special Weapons Squads, can also be armed with las pistols. And after this one, we're probably gonna end it here. The multi-laser. The multi-laser is a multiple-barreled laser weapon that fires a torrent of laser beams. It is described as a lower-powered and multiple-shot version of the vehicle-destroying las cannon. The multi-lasers have always been used primarily by the armies of the Imperial Guard. They are often mounted on the light vehicles that serve either as transport or scouts for infantry work. Imperial Guard chimeras and sentinels are among the few vehicles that are known to mount multi-lasers. So there's a reason why I'm stopping here and not going into the laser destroyer. You guys will see next week. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and you guys have a wonderful day.